Hello and welcome to the Grid Engine Podcast, casting out. That's us, baby. We're here now. We have smaller mics. That's exciting.
That are supposedly better.
I think they're better,
I think so too.
but they get a little bit more pop.
Yeah.
So we gotta be careful of that.
This is our
blue balls. Oh no.
third attempt to make episode 3.
4. No, 3 because we started with 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is our third attempt to make episode 3 because we've had run into technical issues
It's
every single time.
pretty frustrating and super annoying. We're in a different spot in the house.
Oh yeah, we got a new set
we
and
got
a
soundproofing.
table prop.
We got a big old Turbski. We got some better camera equipment for us, not for you. We still look just as shitty. And we got a fun new topic.
We do.
But before we get onto that topic, I'm going to introduce us, the hosts of the podcast, as usual.
My bad.
Got my co-host here. His name is Noah, and he is the queen of queefs.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
This is my co-host Simon. He is a competitive gynecologist.
Yep.
Yeah.
I take it very seriously,
yeah,
and I'm one of the best. You can see my trophies here.
Yeah. Didn't you compete in the American League of Gynecologists?
Yeah, the American Pussy League.
Yeah, the American Pussy League.
Yeah, that was me. All right, and we actually have a couple sponsors for this episode. That's right, we're already that big. We got Get Hacked VPN, one of the best VPNs around, especially if you want your information everywhere in foreign countries. And Molasses. It's a web browser extension, and it's completely free. We will hear more from them later. Okay, today we're going to talk about stories from when we were in school.
Ooh, fun.
These are fun.
Yeah, I gotta love old school stories.
Oh yeah, I got a couple in mind. I think you got a couple in mind. Got these stories from stool, you know. And I'm just like, man. I remember this one time. I was in first grade, and I had this huge crush.
Wait, I have a question. So,
But you're just blueballing the listeners. I just talked about a crush, and you're like,
Yeah.
Wait, so.
well, my question is, weren't you homeschooled though?
I was after first grade.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but I had a lot to do with schools throughout my schooling, and so I had schools that I went to for certain classes. Just not all of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So first grade, huge crush on this girl, and I got partnered up with her for like an arts and crafts thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was so happy. I was like, dang, bro, this is my chance as a little first grader. I'm gonna tell her I like her. And then
I'm gonna tell her I like.
we were doing something with scissors.
Oh no. Oh no.
And she was holding the paper that I was cutting.
No, dude, I know where this is going.
And I cut a piece of her finger. And I remember vividly seeing the skin from her finger fly off. She wasn't bleeding. It was a very like small piece of skin, and they were like little idiot kid scissors.
Mm.
But I still managed to cut a piece of her
Finger off?
just her skin. Yeah, and it went flying. And I remember I freaked out, and she was like totally cool with it. She was like, "Man, I need a Band-Aid," but I was like freaking out and like crying because I was like, "Man, this could not have gone worse." It was like sitcom bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't talk to her for several years after that. That was
You just like, hey, bitch, I'm gonna cut your finger off and then never talk to you again.
I didn't tell her that I liked her until 4th grade, bro.
So you had that crush that whole time, or was it like you got over it and then you're like, hey, I used to have a crush on you?
Nope. I told her our parents were talking in one of the classrooms, and I called her over to me, and I was sitting down, she stood up, and I was like looking at her, and I was like, hey, I like you a lot. And then she like just blushes, this huge blush, and then just like about face, turns around and walks back to her mom. And my dad asked me afterwards, he's like, what were you saying to her? And I was like, because I thought it was really funny at the time, I was like, none of your beeswax. That's what I said. I'm not lying.
Word for word, you just straight up.
That's none of your beeswax. And he was like, no, it is. Tell me. And I told him, and he was like, you're a fucking idiot. And I was like, no. I thought I was like, did the right thing, Mr. Smooth.
Mr. Suave.
She didn't really talk to me ever again. So.
Ooh, that's rough.
Not real upset about that though, because she had a kid in high school.
Oh.
So I don't know. I think my good Lord Jeebus was looking out for me there.
Did I ever tell you that my technical first girlfriend that only lasted a week long, we only started dating because people pressured us into it?
No. What grade were you in?
Middle school. I was in like 7th or 8th grade.
I did not know you had a first girlfriend that was for a week.
Yeah. So, well, I don't really talk about it much because I never really I used to not consider it my first girlfriend because we were both pressured into it.
Mm-hmm.
And we both just did it because we felt like we had to because of all of our friends.
Right.
And then a week later, she finally had the balls to be like, hey, homie, why are we here?
And then you were like,
never mind. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. But yeah, so how it happened is in middle school, so I was homeschooled up until middle school. And then I did the thing kind of where you did, where it's like half middle school, half public school.
Yeah.
And I was going on a field trip and... It was 2 girls who were best friends, and I had a crush on both of them.
Dude.
And one of them was on this field trip, and...
Damn, the other one's missing out.
Well, the thing is apparently they also both had a crush on me at some point. I don't know if this was at this time.
You had everything going for you. How'd you fuck this up?
So, well, the thing is they both... agreed to not go out with me because they were friends and they had been friends for a really long time and they didn't want me to come in between that friendship.
Than most middle school girls are, so I got to give them credit.
When the other one,
because usually they fight over it.
Yeah, when the one I didn't date for a week told me that, I was like, oh shit, that's really mature. I understand that.
Right.
I was smart enough to be like, I get that.
Right.
But anyways, we're going on this field trip. It was a redhead and then one who constantly had her hair dyed different colors. So I'll just go by their hair color, I guess.
Okay.
So the redhead was on the field trip with me, and they knew that, or some of her friends knew that she liked me.
Right.
So a bunch of them started huddling around me, like, and started like, oh, do you like her? Do you like her? Do you like her?
Clever.
And I was like, yeah. Yeah, she's cool. And they're like, oh my God, you two should date. She likes you, you two should date. And I was like, well, I mean, if she doesn't want to. That's what I said. I was like, I like her, but if she doesn't want to date, so then they go and harass her.
Oh, dude, middle schoolers.
And they're like, oh my God, he likes you. You should date him. You should date him. And they're doing that. And then we agree. And then she's like, so do you just want to date then? And I was like, okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Because, I didn't know what the fuck was really happening. So... Then we decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Nice.
And we sat next to each other on the bus and
God.
We and stuff like that.
Yes.
And hung out for the field trip. And then we would text every day, but it was really boring, mundane texting because we were forced into this relationship.
Hi, how are you? Very good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Very
I guess.
good. Yeah.
And then a week later she's just like,
man, this is dumb.
This is dumb. I don't want to be your girlfriend anymore. And funny thing is this is how I knew. I was like, yeah, this is really dumb. Because when she said that, I didn't feel sad or anything at all. I was just like, you're right.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, this is very fucking dumb.
When the dude agrees, it's bad.
Yeah, she was like, hey, this is dumb. Let's stop. And I was like, you're completely fucking right. This is really dumb. Let's stop.
That's funny.
And
sorry, finish.
No, yeah, so then we just fucking broke up, and then we continued to be friends because...
Right.
It was
at least you continued to be friends. Yeah, it wasn't some stupid bullshit.
And then a couple years later, because I think that was in 6th or 7th, in 8th grade, they randomly stopped being friends and they hated each other.
Oh, no.
So much so, to the point where when I was having him sign my yearbook, because I was never going to see him again...
Oh...
I had the black-haired girl sign my yearbook first, and when I took it to the redhead and was like, hey, do you want to sign my yearbook? She opened it and saw that she signed and was like, I'm not signing that page because she signed there, and then flipped to the back and signed it in the back. Well, and here's the thing that so near the end of that, during 8th grade, I was very, very flirtatious with the black-haired girl.
Oh, shit.
And I started to like her a lot more.
Oh, maybe the redhead saw that, bro.
Maybe, but... The thing is that drove me crazy is they never told me what happened between them.
You should hit them up now and find out.
I tried to send the black-haired girl a friend request before me and my wife got married to kind of reconnect and say hi, but she never accepted it. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess if you don't...
You're down bad, huh?
If you don't want me in your life, then that's completely
That's on
your
you,
choice,
and it's your fault.
It's not what I'm saying. But
You don't know what you're missing out on.
now I'm married and she gets all this. But anyways, they never told me why they stopped being friends. And of course, my like selfish middle school brain was like, it's definitely about me.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because like I didn't have the brain capacity to be like, hey, they're friends. They've been friends forever. There could be some deep-seated drama there.
It's not true.
No, not at all. It was
definitely
100% only me. I am that important. I'm the most important thing in their lives.
Yep.
Because I was always, and it's funny because I kind of felt like shit for thinking that, but because they wouldn't tell me, I couldn't help but think that. I was like, I feel really selfish thinking this is all about me, but also you guys refuse to tell me what's going on, so it makes me think it is about me.
That's on you, girls, bro.
Bro.
All right, I got another story that's gonna fucking blow your socks off, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a big epic cringe.
Mm-hmm.
So I was an 8th grader. No, I was a freshman in jazz band 1 as a drummer at this high school, and
Okay.
it was like the most prestigious one in town in terms of having good jazz bands.
Okay.
So it was kind of a big deal, I guess. And they went to Montana on a band trip, essentially,
Okay.
to go play at a college and like tour it and stuff. And they were like, yeah, this is where our director went to college. We're going to go play here in a competition. And I was this super unbelievably awkward kid around mostly seniors. And I was a fucking freshman, right? Not a great recipe.
Yeah.
So the first half of the drive, they're all on a bus. And I rode with my dad because I was like, I don't want to be around them. I don't know them that well. Because it was kind of at the beginning of the year,
Okay.
which was kind of weird. But so I'm doing this. And then I kept my PS Vita in a steel case.
Oh, yeah.
That looked kind of sus if you were at an airport or something, right? But it made sense for what it was carrying.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to take this with me on the bus in case nobody wants to do anything. And I'm just going to sit by myself and play PS Vita. But I am going to ride on the bus. I'm going to be a big brave boy and be around these seniors. I'm walking down the aisle of the bus, and this makes me physically cringe now so hard. I'm walking down the aisle of the bus, and one of them, who's just being friendly, is like, hey, what's in the case, man? And I look them dead in the eye, and I go, it's a bomb. And then I continue walking. I never corrected myself. It never occurred to me that was
In a
really cringy.
really fucked up to say.
And kind of fucked up. But mostly it was just cringy.
Yeah, mostly cringy, but
Like, it physically hurts me now.
it's a bomb.
It physically hurts me now to think that I was around them for the rest of the year and they continue to accept me as not an outcast, which
Dude.
is a huge reflection on how good of people they were. Because holy fuck, if someone said that to me and I was a senior, I'd be like, you are the biggest idiot I think I've ever met. I will never talk to you.
Yeah. No, dude, because I had some fucking cringy ass moments when I was a freshman. I was in intro to art because I, at one point, was like, I'm gonna be an artist and draw things, and then I was like, man, I don't have a talent or a passion for this, so never mind.
Whoops.
But in that class, I would try to force myself to be outgoing, but my brain wasn't fully developed, so I didn't know how. So I would just yell things out to the class
Oh, nice.
and try to get a response.
Yeah.
And thinking about it makes me want to go back in time and choke myself out, choke my 15-year-old self out, 14 or 15.
Yep.
But I was in class one time. It's completely silent. The teacher's letting us do our own thing. We're all drawing. We're just doing our thing.
What'd you do, bud?
I'm sitting there. And, dude, this is a class. This is like intrusive thoughts winning 100%.
Uh-oh.
I straight up, I rev up for it. I, scoot back. And I'm not gonna actually, I scoot back from my table, sit up, and, go, And then I yell out as loud as I can and raise my hand. Hey, yo, raise your hand up if you got a cousin.
What?
I don't know, dude.
Well, here's the important question.
And then I sit there and I look around, and every single pair of eyes in that classroom was locked onto me.
But did anyone raise their hand?
No.
Oh, no.
No one raised their hand. No one even was like, okay, this kid might be a little dumb. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll raise my hand. I'll be, treat him. No. Dead silence. Deadpan. And I was even sitting next to two of my friends, and they also didn't raise their hands and didn't.
Bro.
Those two were the only two who weren't looking at me.
Out of respect, I guess. Or they were trying to pretend they didn't fucking know you. Bro.
And I look around.
That is intrusive
and
thoughts.
I can picture this memory perfectly. I remember exactly what it looks like. I made eye contact with one of the seniors, and he's like has his head turned around. Dude looks like he wants to strangle me. He looks like he thinks that I'm the dumbest person on the planet, and he just looks at me and just shakes his head and goes, and then goes back to doing his thing. And I'm like, after that, dude, and I was like, damn, bro, I guess you don't all got cousins.
You said that?
Yeah. And,
oh my.
except I didn't say damn because
right.
of the, but I was like, dang, dude, I guess you don't got cousins. I got some. And then I went back to drawing, trying to play it off like I'm fucking cool or something.
I think the only way you could have gotten out of that situation after the initial impact is by gathering your things
and walking the fuck out
and dropping the class.
No, dude, I straight up, I rolled with it. I was like, dang, none of y'all got cousins? I got some. And then I just kept drawing.
I think along with your lost passion for drawing was also a lost passion for stand-up. And in that class, you learned that neither of those passions were going to be something you should continue.
Oh, dude, that was so dumb. I don't know why. I thought it was
Hey, raise your hand if you got a cousin.
I thought I was being so clever, too. I was like, because, I don't know, I think I, wanted everyone to, participate in something for some reason. I was like, oh, everyone's got cousins.
Right.
And after that, it stained my reputation so bad that on the last day of school, I brought a huge thing of donuts for the class.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I was kind of... Because I at that point, I was like, man, I was kind of dumb, kind of annoying. I'm going to bring these things of donuts, so, try to be nice. No one had any.
Oh, no.
Except for one senior came, and it wasn't the guy who shook his head inside of me, but no one touched them.
The fact that a sweet treat for high schoolers,
except for one senior who came in late and didn't realize I was the one who brought him in.
Oh no.
And was like, oh, sick, donuts. And he grabbed me and went, who brought these in? And I was like, oh, I did. And he went, oh, thanks, bro. And then walked off.
Well,
and
at least he didn't put it back.
No, yeah, but nobody else touched him. The only one who grabbed one is someone who didn't realize I was the one who brought him in.
Dude,
that made me feel so fucking shitty, dude. Because then the class ended.
Yeah.
And I just had to pick up these cases full of donuts and bring them with me. And I was like,
oh man.
Okay, so I just brought him to my next class, and I was like, hey, guys, do you want... And I wasn't fucking...
Did they get eaten?
Yes.
Okay.
Throughout the rest of the day, because in those classes, I hadn't embarrassed myself like that.
Right.
But...
Was that your first class, first period?
That was my first class right after lunch.
Oh, okay.
So...
That is excellent, dude.
Yeah. So I just had to take him with me to my next classes and be like, hey, guys, I brought donuts if you want them. And then people were actually like, oh, thanks, man, and ate them.
Okay.
But, dude, the fact that nobody touched them...
Your friends didn't even eat them in that class?
Nope.
Oh, boy. They were just following the example of the others.
I was just like, dude, that made me feel so fucking shitty. I was like, I'm just trying, dude. I'm trying so hard.
Oh, my gosh, dude. That's bad. All right. We're going to take a brief break to hear from the first of our two sponsors. Noah is going to speak on behalf of Get Hacked VPN.
Get Hacked VPN. So our first sponsor is Get Hacked VPN. Mm-hmm. It's a wonderful service.
Yeah.
You sign up. It is 3 easy installments of $6.99.99. But basically what it does is once you sign up, it collects all of your data.
Right. Like bank account,
yeah,
routing
bank
number,
account information,
yeah.
social security number, everything
Right.
it could possibly find on you, and secures it in a safe location, and then sends that safe location to anyone and everyone who can receive it in the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
you will get your identity stolen. You will get your bank accounts drained.
Okay.
Everything and anything that can possibly happen to you will.
Wow. Okay. That's
in
excellent.
the blink of an eye. Only for 3 easy installments of $699.99.
Okay. Yeah. I think you have a bit of a testimonial because I know that they gave you a free
Yeah, they gave me a free 2-day trial.
Yeah. How long did it take for your bank account to be absolutely drained?
The second I clicked submit.
Oh, okay.
The second, because you put in like your name, your email address, you make an account. As soon as I clicked create account, I got phone calls from fraud departments. I got I got credit card and charges. I got my bank account drained.
Okay.
Literally instantaneous.
Wow.
I was no longer me. 50 other people were using my identity within the first 5 seconds.
Excellent service.
And 3,700 people were using my identity within the first 2 minutes.
Wow.
It was incredible.
That is like probably the fastest that can ever happen. That is an excellent service.
Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, if you want the amazing service, go to www.gethacked.com to get Grid Engine. Sorry. But yeah, go /Grid Engine.
We have a promotion going on where you actually get it for $5.99.99. One of the most excellent VPN services we have ever used. Okay. Moving on. I'm going to start us off with another good story.
All right.
Cut from the same cloth. I was an 8th grader in freshman band at the same high school.
Okay.
There were 3 other drummers with me, and I had no social skills. And I was the best out of the 4 of us, or at least one of the best 2. And one of them was really bad, but it was freshman band, so anybody could join.
Yeah.
And there was one time where I had a song assigned to me, but our director wanted everyone to experience playing the songs. That was excellent.
Thank you.
Experience playing the songs, so they had the experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this one kid, he was playing my song, and he messed it up because he had never played it before, and he wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And the director stopped the song, and I, from across the room,
Oh no.
exclaim, "You messed that up!"
Ooh.
And then my director snaps around to me and goes, "Simon, see me after class." And I legitimately was oblivious to the reason why. I was like, "Oh, okay." I was so out to lunch, so out of touch with reality that I didn't know until he explained it to me. He was like, "Hey, that was really rude and completely unacceptable. If you do that again, you will be out of the class." And I was like,
Oh shit.
I'm not supposed to do that. Shoot. How could I be so dumb?
Hey, yo, you messed that up.
Yeah. That band director alone was responsible for a lot of the maturing that I did during 8th grade and freshman year, because I kept saying really rude, stupid shit, and he would point out that that's not okay.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I can't believe he didn't fucking kick me out of the class, dude. I was unbearable unintentionally. Maybe he knew it was unintentional, and that's why he was
That's
like,
probably
"Okay,
why he kept on
alright."
giving you more chances and was trying to help you grow.
It was bad.
That's fucking hilarious.
All right, your turn.
So my technically second girlfriend, what I always counted as my first girlfriend,
Nice.
another redhead. This was my freshman year of high school.
Very good.
Once I got to high school, I was full-time public school, which definitely had some growing pains socially.
Same here, bud.
But funny story about my second girlfriend. Same as the first, I was pressured into it.
Oh.
Yeah,
By who?
her best friend.
Oh, very good.
I had math class with her, and I was kind of I was a little goofy boy.
Of course. Class clown always.
Yeah, dude, and
Raise your
not
hand
in
if
the
you
good
got
way.
cousins. Was she in that class?
No, thank God.
Maybe she would have thought that was the ticket.
I seen her from across the class every now and again. She sees me and stuff like that. her breast
friend. Interesting.
So, and we talked a few times, but not all that much. Her best friend finds me in the halls and starts talking to me. Hey, do you like her? Do you think she's cute? Do you think she's pretty?
Classic, right?
Do you blah blah blah? Do you this? Do you that? And I was like, I mean, yeah, she's cute, whatever. So she's like, you should ask her out. She likes you. You should ask her out. Are you gonna ask her out? And then for the next couple days, she would find me in the halls every day and be like, so have you asked her out? You gonna ask her out?
That's so annoying.
So I finally did it, and I also did it in the cheesiest way possible.
Let's go, dude.
My freshman year, there were two girls I liked, two girls that I tried to kind of flirt with and build a relationship with. And both of them, I used the subject of class I had with them to try to get an in with them.
That can be good.
No.
Uh-oh.
No. So the first one, who I wasn't pressured into, I had Spanish with her. Nice. And her, I just thought she was really pretty, so I wanted to start talking to her. I would find her after, I would follow her out of class and into the hall. Oh. And I would come up to her and I would like...
That's always good.
Yeah, dude, that's great. Girls love being followed around the school. I would follow her and I would try and catch up to her because she was faster than me.
Oh.
And then I would...
I wonder why she was going faster than you.
Yeah, I wonder. And then I would introduce myself, or I wouldn't introduce myself because she knew who I was, but I would like greet her and like in Spanish every time because we had Spanish together.
Very good.
And the first time I did it, I was like, I'm clever, dude. I'm going to go up to her and greet myself in Spanish because we have Spanish. I messed it up. Oh, I called her senor.
Oh.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Man?
Or like old? Mr. or man or whatever.
Mr. Okay.
So
I'm out of touch.
I stuttered, and after that, and I was starting to fumble all my words, and I was like, I mean, and then she went, you can stop, dude. I don't speak Spanish outside of that class. I don't care.
Uh-oh.
And then I was like, yeah, dude, that's...
Spanish. Was she also a freshman?
Yeah. I was
Did she shut you down like that, bro?
No, she didn't shut me down.
Oh.
She allowed me to continue to hang out with her and talk to her, and she allowed me to follow her around and like hang out with her friend group and stuff like that, which was very nice of her.
Yeah.
To allow me to annoy her like that, and I did that for 2 or 3 days, and then it stopped.
Very good.
But the reason I tell that is because this girl, this redhead who I was pressured into asking out, I asked her out by giving her a note because I had math class with her.
Oh no!
And I wrote me plus you equals.
That one's not as bad.
No, sorry. I wrote you plus. I like will you plus date me equals. Or something like that. Okay.
That's not nearly as bad as calling someone senior.
It's not, but it's still cringy as fuck.
It is.
So
but did it work?
Yes, because she liked me, and her best friend pressured me into asking her out, so I just did it. We dated for 4 or 5 months, and then...
That's not that bad.
I didn't have feelings for her at first, but over the course of dating, I developed feelings for her. But I also didn't know how to be a boyfriend, so I was super jealous, super controlling, and shit like that. So she eventually was like, hey, I'm miserable. She literally said that. She literally told me, I am miserable. I can't do this anymore. We need to break up. And I was completely distraught. I was crying. Eyes were red, everything like that. And I still had my last class to go to.
Oh.
And when I got there, they're like, yo, dude, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, man, I don't want to talk about it. So and then this homie was hella fucking dope. I wasn't even really friends with this guy. I was just an acquaintance.
Yeah.
But anytime someone saw me and said, hey, man, are you okay? He would be like, oh, yeah, he's just got really bad allergies. And they've just been really bugging him today.
All right. That's clutch.
So that dude...
Do you still know him?
No.
Oh.
But homie was coming in clutch hard because I was like... just...
Yeah.
But, yeah, terrible relationship. I was an absolute piece of shit. But ultimately, it was for the better because it taught me how not to be a piece of shit boyfriend.
Yeah. Okay.
And then later in our senior year, because I was in theater arts... She was helping backstage, and I was one of the actors.
Right.
After one of the productions, she found me, and she said, "Hey, I know we had this like rough relationship freshman year, but can we put that behind us and bury the hatchet?"
Here's
and I
my
said,
number. Sorry.
No, and I just said, "Yeah, I would like that." And then she reached out and hugged me, and her boyfriend was standing right there, and he said,
"Uh-oh,"
and he leaned over and he was like, hey, Noah, do I need to have a talk with you too?
Oh, my God.
Because just like a week or two earlier, he told me about a dude who was like casing her house and like texting her and being like, "Hey, where are you home?" and
That's
shit like
pretty
that.
bad. But she hugged you.
Yeah.
And he saw that.
Yeah, and he was joking, but he like leaned over the table and he was
okay.
like, "Do I need to have a talk with you too?" I was like, "Bro, fucking chill."
That's funny. Excellent story. I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to hear from our second sponsor, Molasses. Molasses is a web browser add-on that you can actually download within like 2 clicks. They have a special deal cut with us right now. You can go to molasses.com/gridengine and you will get, instead of their service being free, you actually pay them $2.
Okay.
It's excellent. And so we like to support them by charging you guys. So what Molasses does essentially is whenever you're shopping for anything online, right? Amazon specifically for me a lot. I know that sometimes I search for ways that I can spend more on the products I'm buying.
You
know what I
always
mean?
want to, because the more money you spend, the better product you're getting.
Of course, yeah. And so if you can pay more for the exact same product on Amazon, if you can just like tip them or add an upcharge,
It means it's better.
yeah, that means that the quality will obviously be better. And so sometimes I find myself searching for coupon codes to force me to pay more on said website for the product. Molasses is a web browser add-on that you can download within 2 clicks. With our code, you can actually pay for it as well. It will actually search for promo codes for you that will make you pay more. You don't have to search for them anymore. It just does it for you.
Just finds the highest price out there for you automatically?
It will.
That's amazing.
It'll even take you to different websites that charge more, and it's like, oh, you want to pay more? Here, go to this website and buy it
I've
from
never
here.
heard of this website before. Let's
Yeah.
buy this product. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Find the highest price always at molasses.com/gridengine. Thank you for your sponsorship. I got a story.
Okay.
And this one I think will top most.
Okay. I want to hear this then.
In kindergarten, I went to a private school.
Kindergarten.
Yes.
Okay.
Long time ago. I went to a private school. And there was this one kid in my class that always wanted to play dinosaurs.
Okay.
You pretend to be dinosaurs, tuck your hands into your shirt.
Yeah,
pretend
be
to
a little T-Rex.
Yeah. Walk around the playground and try and... he would try to bite other kids, but I usually didn't go that far. But I would play with him sometimes out of pity. One day, he wanted to play dinosaurs, and I wanted to play Foursquare. And so I punched him right in the nose. And he was bleeding out of his nose and crying.
So you couldn't have just said, no, I'm going to go play Foursquare. You can play dinosaurs by yourself. Your instant thought process was, no, I need to punch this kid.
This part I don't remember. I don't think it was instant. I think he followed me around for like half of recess saying, let's play dinosaurs and trying to bite me. I'm pretty sure that was what led up to it, because there's no way I would have just punched him right away.
Hey, let's play dinosaurs. Oh, bam!
Yeah, no. He was being fairly annoying about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, dude, stop. Bah! Bleeding out his nose. All of my classmates tattled on me to the teacher. She didn't do a damn thing. She didn't even address me about it. She did not give a fuck. And it was really funny.
That is fun.
But this is where the story gets better. Fast forward to junior year of high school.
Okay.
I am a counselor at a 4-H camp. And who walks in on the first day of counselor orientation than a kid with the same name? Didn't recognize him, but over the course of like the several different counselor orientations we had leading up to the camp, I started to think, he has the same name and he's from the same area. Because this private school was like way out on a private road.
Okay.
I was like, I wonder if that's him. And so I asked him, hey, did you go to this school in kindergarten? He was like, yeah. I was like, did you have this teacher as your teacher? And he was like, yeah. I was like, did you get punched in the nose for wanting to play dinosaurs in this class? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, hey, that was me. And
Why did you out yourself?
Because we had already become friends at that point, and he didn't recognize me.
Oh.
And so I was like, hey man, before we become better friends and like hang out at camp for a week with no cell service, I want to like set the record straight. I'm sorry. And he was like, bro, I don't care. That was kind of funny, to be honest. But my favorite part about this story is the fact that I met him later after not going to that school for ever.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely hilarious.
I think it's funny that you just straight outed yourself. You were just like, "Yo, did you get punched?"
It was kind of
that was me.
It was kind of something that was on my mind for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Damn, I probably shouldn't have done that." And also, the teacher didn't get me in trouble, so I felt this guilt because I was never punished for it.
Yeah,
you know. And so I was like, "Damn, bro, am I gonna finally come to reckoning with this thing that I did like 15 years ago?" It was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude,
so that was one of mine. Do you have another? If you need a moment, I have one more.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I need a moment.
So my first girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I was an 8th grader in freshman jazz band, right? That's where a lot of my stories come from because that was a terrible year. They had us perform for another music class that happened in the room next to ours. It was a guitar class. They just watched us play. And then some random girl from my jazz band comes up to me and is like, "Hey, what's your phone number?" I was like, "It's this. Why?" And she was like, "One of my friends in the guitar class thought you were cute." And I was like, "Oh."
Shit.
I was super
All right.
awkward, bro. Like, unbelievably awkward.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Okay, have her hit me up." And she did. And never met her. Didn't even know who she was in the class.
Oh, so you were just like...
Absolutely not. I looked her up on Facebook and I was like, "Oh, all right. I don't remember you, but sure."
Okay.
And I was like, "Man, you want to go on a date? You want to go out to a movie? Monsters Inc. 2? It was in theaters." And she was like, "Yeah, sure, bro. I'm going to bring a friend." I was like, "Bet." And then I was like, "Mom, Dad, I need you to drive me to the theater. I'm going on a date." They were like, "About that. We'll be there too." And your little brother.
Please tell me they at least didn't sit with you.
No. They sat right next to all of us.
No.
It was the worst.
Did you guys at least get
Date
to sit on
ever.
the end of one of them?
We sat on the end, yes.
Okay.
But
I mean, that's still not much better.
no, dude.
But at least you weren't sandwiched.
We weren't sandwiched, but it was fucking horrible.
Oh, yeah. I
it
bet.
was the absolute worst. And to piggyback off that, there was one other time where I went on a date with a girl, and I only had my driver's permit, and so my dad had to come. So I drove us around, and it was really awkward, and then I never really spoke to her again. We just kind of pretended it never happened.
Nice.
Those are my really toxic, interesting, yucky high school dating stories.
When I had my first girlfriend, second girlfriend, freshman year of high school.
Right.
My mom found out.
Uh-oh.
And my mom didn't want me dating. She was
Of course
like,
not.
She was like, "You're too young. You're only like 14 years old. You can't be dating."
Yeah.
And I was like, "But I like her. She's so pretty and girl."
Yep, of course.
So she was freaking out, and she was like, "You're telling your dad
Uh-oh.
that you have a girlfriend when he comes home, and he will deal with you."
Were you scared?
I
Or
was
were you-
scared off my...
Oh,
I
okay.
was scared
Yeah.
shitless, dude. I was like, "What is he gonna do to me?" Dad comes home from work, walks in the door, just setting his stuff down, and then we're sitting at the dinner table, and he walks by, and my mom goes, "Honey, hold up, Noah, do you have something you'd like to tell your dad?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have a girlfriend."
Mhm.
And the magic goes, "That's awesome. What's her name?"
Oh.
And my mom's face, like, straight up anger immediately.
Oh, no.
Because my dad was just like, "That's awesome. What's her name?"
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, yeah, her name's this, and blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "That's great. How long have you been dating?" And was totally into it.
That is so funny, dude. He was your hype man, and your mom was like, "God damn it. You were supposed to beat his ass and tell him to break up with her."
She was not happy, but my dad was just immediately like, "That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah."
Dude, that is so funny, man.
And then he proceeded. It was funny because one time we went on a date, but he had to drive because I didn't have even a permit yet.
Mm-hmm.
He drove us.
Was he chill about it?
And then, yeah, he was chill about it.
So he didn't follow you?
No.
Excellent.
But when he was dropping her off at her house, we stopped. She gets out of the car. She starts walking towards her door. And my dad looks at me and he goes, well, fucking get out and go walk her to her door. I was just like, okay, bye. All right, Dad, let's go home.
Dude, that is so
He's like,
funny.
get out. Go walk her to her door. And I was like, oh, you're right. So I walk her to her door. And, we say goodbye, hug. She walks inside. And then I say goodbye, hug, and then I sprint back to the car because I'm a child.
Actually sprint?
Yeah, it's like I full on whoop, 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 back to the fucking
You were
car.
probably kind of hyped though because you'd been on a date,
And then I open the car door and I shut it and I was like, all right, let's go. And my dad was like, dude, what was that? And I was like, what do you mean? I'm ready to go. He was like, first of all, walk to the car.
Yeah.
Second, before you get in the car, stop and look back and say goodbye. She looked back at you.
And you were running.
And you were sprinting to the car and hopping in the fucking passenger seat.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what do you mean? And I look back and the door's already closed. She's gone. And he's just like, do you know anything? And I was like, huh?
Dude, that's like the best dad though. Because he was trying to help your ass out.
No, he was definitely trying to help me out, but I was so fucking dumb, dude. Straight up, I was like, oh, right. Hop out of the car, walk into her door, hug her. Okay, bye.
Dude, I got one that's not about anything embarrassing or girl related.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is about math, which is kind of funny.
Okay.
I was homeschooled for math, and I would finish a chapter in my book, and sometimes I would try and move on and see if I could do it, just challenge myself, because I was a fucking nerd, right? And the next chapter in my math book was estimation. That was the next one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And generally the way you're supposed to do it is, I'm reading this because I forgot, you round off all the numbers to the same place value and then add them, right? There's some rounding and then you add them. There's a mathematical equation to doing it,
Okay.
right? And I didn't know that, and I didn't read the part that explained how to do it. I just saw estimation, and I was like, well, whatever my dad estimates, he guesses. So I'm going to see if I can do these problems.
Oh,
And I start reading the problems, and they're very simple problems that's like 13 plus 12 or something. But you're supposed to estimate them based on the mathematical equation for estimation. I was purposefully trying to keep my brain from solving the simple equation and guessing on a paper. And I remember being so happy with this challenge of trying not to figure out the problem and guess before I figured out the problem in my head. And I spent like an hour doing it. And my mom's like, are you done with your math yet? I'm like, yeah, I actually did the next chapter. I estimated all of these. And she was like, what?
No,
How
you
did you
didn't.
get these answers? And I was like, well, I just estimated. I would refuse to figure out the problem, and then I would guess. And she was like, I'm going to need you to forget all that. And then the next day I moved on to it, and I discovered that it's actual math, and I hated it. But that was a funny story
You
for
can't
me.
just guess.
Yeah, that was a funny story for me because I just took the literal definition of estimate and applied it to this without reading anything. And I was just like, man, this is great. It was excellent. All right. Well, I think we'll bring this podcast to a close.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you made it this far. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
If you found this for some reason and you are not aware of our car channel, go check us out on Grid Engine, the YouTube channel. We do lots of stuff with an EM2 Civic there. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man. Just, I don't know. Just fucking vibe, bud. Here we go.